This is what I was waiting for. It's the new Prime Reliever Skincare Concealer from Givenchy. It is $37, made in France. I really want to know why I'm so boring when it comes to my hair. I never know what to do and I always end up doing the same damn thing. I hate that. So this is supposed to be a 24 hours skincare concealer and I really want to see if we can achieve the we will apply this look using this baby. I even heard that we can actually replace the morning eye cream with this. That sounds pushing it, but let's see. It is available in 24 shades and the packaging is super cute. It reminds me of the foundation. It's just smaller and skinnier. In here, we're getting 11 ml, 0.37 ounces, and the shade range is designed to match the glow, the matte foundation, and also the powders. So this is going to correct, conceal, and unify, and it's going to provide you with 24 hours of hydration and radiance. It is infused with great skincare loving ingredients like plant-based glycerine that really offers all-day hydration and maintains the skin moisture barrier. Capucine that adds radiance and enhances a natural glow, and corn flour extract that discongests and soothes the skin. The applicator is super cool. I like it that it's big, it's thick, it's comfortable, it's gonna catch a lot of your under eyes at once. But what I love the most about it is that in each side of the wand, you get like a little dentation. It's like a small, tiny hole, which means that every time you get it out of the bottle, you should have enough product here on the wand for both of your under eyes. You're gonna be using one side of the wand for each under eye. That's dope. I picked up the shade N120. It is for light with neutral undertones. And I was thinking about going with something a little darker than this, but I like my under eye very light, very bright. That's the reason why I picked up this shade. I also picked up the one from Dior, very light. I have it right here. Let me swatch it right next to it so we can compare the shades. This one is on the shade 1N. And I mean, from the bottom, they're right there. Super close. Let's see which one is darker or if they're the same shades. I swear that this concealer from Dior, the scent, it is very strong. I like it, but right away when you open it up, it's like boom in your face. Instead, this one from Givenchy, you do smell a little some. It's not fragrance free, but it's super subtle. So here you have the new one from Givenchy and Dior. So as you can see, they're not the same shades. Even though this one from Dior is supposed to also be a neutral undertone, next to this one from Givenchy, it looks very pinky. This one, it's giving more of a true neutral undertone. Before we apply the concealer, we need some foundation in my life. So I'm going to be going in with the Skin Caring Glow Foundation from Givenchy. I have a new brush. This one is the one from Rose & Bend Beauty, the C42 Bone. I'm going to apply one pump directly into my brush. The mess. So what's the deal with you guys? Tell me what you've been doing. I've been organizing and, you know, just settling in my new home. You know that it's a lot of getting used to, but I'm happy. I'm super happy. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder to get used to it, but no, not at all. To be honest with you, I do like it over here and a lot. I am so stressed because I'm missing my chains so much. You know, I'm used to having my bling bling and all that. But I finally gave in because my husband was asking me for months to take my shit for maintenance because the choker was missing a lot of diamonds, a lot. And the big, thick Cuban link had some deep scratches, so it needed to get polished. But I kept stringing him along because I didn't want to be without my shit, but I gave in and I still don't have them back. Same thing with the watch. I sent it to Rolex and I don't even know how many months passed by already and I still don't have it back. Please help. Oh my gosh, this foundation, chef kiss. And then now let's go in with the concealer. I feel that the foundation smells a little stronger than the concealer. I need some serious sparkling concealing right here on the peak of my nose. My nose, I swear, I keep fucking with it and I keep leaving freaking scabs and it's peeling and why always my nose? I want to see if we only need to pop it out one time. I want to see if this is going to be enough, like I told you before, for both of my under eyes. So I'm going to use whatever I have on one side right here. It is more than enough, and I still have some there. I'm gonna flip it to the other side and boom. Ten out of 10 when it comes to the applicator. So the formulation, it is nice and creamy and it's blending beautifully. Look at the way that it's melting into the skin. Hopefully this shade, it is not too light. Remember that after you apply powder and all of that, your concealer also gets a little darker, and that's the reason why I always like to go in with something a little lighter. Because I really hate when I have like the perfect concealer shade and then I apply powder and it's like, it gets darker and it's not the same anymore. Nope. So it did cover my dark circles and imperfections right away, and my under eyes are not looking puffy anymore. It is giving me a little bit of a blurring effect, and it's making my skin look so smooth. And then the way it blends, look at this. It is definitely not full coverage, but it's giving medium. You still see a little bit of my discoloration peeking through, but it looks good. We do have to set it with powder because it stays tacky. So if we leave it like this, it's going to move and it's going to be messy at the end of the day. Like without powder, it is actually already creasing a little bit, a lot. See? In both of my lids, on my under eyes. So we definitely have to set up with powder. I'm gonna be using my Givenchy powder. This is the shade 4, but always remember that before we bake, I'm gonna be using a little bit of the one from Pomegranate just to set it, to make sure the concealer, it is not wet. Let me now blend whatever little creases I have right here on my under eyes. And we're only applying a little tiny bit of powder. And always try to use something very light before you bake. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the powder with the Rose and Van powder puff. I'm gonna take the excess right here on my hand. I feel like there's powder flying around everywhere. Now we're gonna be setting this. Now I'm just gonna take the excess powder off. And I love that the formula of this concealer, it is really lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It feels like nothing on the skin. And I love that even though it is a hydrating concealer, it doesn't feel greasy or oily at all. The shade that I picked up is definitely the one for my skin tone, especially if you like your under eyes bright. And to be honest with you, it doesn't even look that light in person. I think it looks a little lighter in camera, but it's making me look awake. It's making my under eyes pop. It's giving me life. Really good how it looks in the iPhone camera. This is set with powder. From the clip that I just showed you, I do think that you can still see a little bit of my darkness peeking through with this concealer. So I feel that this is something that is going to look better with a color corrector. But we're going to leave it like this. Let's go do the wear test. I'm going to change my shirt because my husband is not going to let me go out like this. Neither my sons. I'm joking. But I do. I'm going to change my shirt because it's like super short and little. But you already know the drill. We have things to do. You're coming with me. We're gonna be doing check-ins throughout the day, and I see you right here at the end of the day. Mwah. I was about to load the review and the wear test of the new Givenchy concealer, but I'm so glad that I didn't load it yet because I went to Sephora and I picked up the two new color correctors. I have the peach and the green one. So let me show you how the concealer looks on top of the color correctors. So normally I would use peach for dark circles, but in the Sephora website, the description of these color correctors are that the green one is gonna be good for dark circles and spots, and the peach one is going to correct redness and imperfections. So let's use both of them. I'm gonna apply one in each under eyes with the concealer on top, and let's see what it does. The consistency, it is very lightweight and thin. I know that it's not going to interfere with your concealer. It's not gonna make it crease, get cakey, none of that at all. We're gonna start with the peach. Right here. I already blend both of them. Here you have the peach and the green. They blend like butter, super quick and easy. And wow, the peach got rid of my dark circles on point. You don't even see it that much. You see it with the green though. See, I think there's something off in the description of this color correctors, because peach to me is gonna be the one that is gonna get rid of your dark circles. But let's go in with the concealer. I'll wipe it off my brush, and then now let's go in on top of the green. Here you have the concealer on top of the peach color corrector, and here you have it on top of the green one. So as you can see, the peach looks better in my opinion. You don't see the discoloration in the dark circles as much. You do see it right here, and a lot. So it's not that the concealer, it's gonna give you more coverage if you apply it on top of the color correctors. No, you're gonna have the same exact coverage. I already told you before that this concealer, it is very natural. But of course, the dark circles and the discoloration is not gonna be as intense if you apply it on top of the color corrector. I do really like the peach one. And even though on top of color corrector and all, you can still see a little tiny bit of my discoloration peeking through still. We had the concealer on for about 3 hours, and this is where we are. Babe, so we already had the concealer for 9 hours, and this is how it looks. It is definitely creasing, and you see all the discoloration under my eyes. Like the darkness, it is definitely peeking through because the formulation is just so thin. I'm back after 10 hours, a little longer than that to be honest with you, and I'm sorry that I really didn't do check-ins throughout the day like I told you I was gonna do, and like I normally always do for my wear test, but I did so many things today. I cleaned the whole entire house. Just a little while ago I finished mopping, and I had people coming in and out basically all day, so I was like, you know what, let me rock it, and then I'll show you guys how the concealer looks after I'm like 8, 9 or whatever hours into it. So let me bring you closer, all up in my grill. Don't get scared because my complexion, it is beat the fuck up. I was even sweating and everything. We're seriously going to ignore this situation that I have right on the peak of my nose because I'm not gonna touch it. I keep peeling it, and that's the reason why it's always there. It doesn't want to go away. So we're gonna ignore it, okay? So now back to the concealer. This is how it looks. I just lower my lights. Both of my under eyes are creasing, but it's the type of creases that they're staying really tight to my lower lash, closer to my little fine lines. It's not the type of creases that we be having with some concealers coming all the way down here that it looks super crusty. No, this one is not doing that. Everything looks good from here down. It looks smooth. And then those are the type of creases that with a little brush, a little bit of shadow, boom, 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 you blend them out and you be back to business. I don't really want to be too hard on this concealer because this is supposed to give you more of the beautiful natural under eyes instead of the flawless perfect under eyes. And don't get me wrong, I do love me a full coverage concealer that makes my under eyes look flawless and perfect. But from time to time, I also love the idea of something like this, especially for during the day, for errands, for whenever I'm around the house and I still want to put myself together, because I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and see puffy under eyes, bags, dark circles, and imperfections. So if I can only apply a little bit of this and it's gonna make me look pretty and natural and it's gonna get rid of all that, why not? I do want you to have in mind that this is not gonna give you a lot of coverage. It's claiming medium, but that's pushing it. I don't think it's a nice solid medium coverage. It's like right there between the light and medium. It is going to show your discoloration, your dark circles, and all that if you don't wear it with a color corrector. But this is definitely the type of concealer that you can fool people with into thinking that you're not wearing any concealer. If you get the shade close enough to your skin tone, it's going to blend beautifully on bare skin. Without foundation, it's going to look on point, and this will never look makeupy. I also needed to apply a little bit more concealer than what I normally always apply if I was using any other one, and that's a bummer because I really don't like to use a lot of concealer, but that's okay. The next time that I use this, if I want to get a little bit more coverage, I will be using a color corrector first. But I'm not going to be using this concealer for full glam, for going out, for those days that I'm dressing up, not at all. I'm strictly going to be using this for the natural look, for makeup no makeup days, for whenever I'm staying home, for the little errands here and there, for those days that I'm looking messy, but I still want my face and my under eyes to look bright and awake and popping. This is gonna come handy. I'm actually gonna change the shade for something darker, more my skin tone, because I wanna be able to just apply with a foundation whenever I want to. And this shade right here, the N120, is gonna be way too light and it's gonna look crazy if I put it on without foundation. I know that there's a lot of you guys that don't like to show the dark circles under your eyes. So this is more like better this than nothing. I do really wish that it had a little tiny bit more coverage, but I love the formula. It is creamy, blendable, it's lightweight, you don't feel it on the skin, and this is the perfect concealer for every day. But if you like the full B, full coverage that gives you a lot type of concealers, this is not gonna be it. And I love the applicator. Those two little holes in each side, it's gonna give you everything you need. It's crazy, but my foundation, which it is this one also from Givenchy, the glow one, didn't hold up as good as the concealer did. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about this concealer? Do you like it? You don't like it? And if you made it to the end of the video, also comment down below the keyword natural glam. Subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I love you to the moon and back. Mwah! See you on the next one.